do a sample homework problem using a percent bar, also using a ratio table, just kind of reviewing some of the ideas that we've been working on. So looking at the problem to the left, and let's read it. In a recent year, the Pirates made 170 out of 224 free throws. And the Captains made 130 out of 180 free throws. So our job is to use a percent bar. That's the action to answer the following. First thing we want to do is find out what fraction benchmark is closest to the number of free throws made by each team. So I'm going to use this percent bar, and I'm going to focus on the Pirates. And put their total here, 224 attempts, and they made 170. So a percent bar is just a good visual tool. And our benchmark fractions are halves and thirds, fourths, tenths. So when I have an even number and I'm looking at where to put the 170, I want to at least look at halfway. So half of 224 is 112. So now I know the 170 has to go somewhere more than halfway. So if I divide into fourths, I know that this is half of 112 is 56. So if I add 56 to 112, I get 168. 170 is pretty close to 168. So that would be my way to estimate the closest benchmark fraction. I would say 170 is closest to 3/4. So the Pirates, they made about 3/4 of their shot. And then the next part would be to figure out the percent. So I would say that the Pirates made a bit more than 75% for the Pirates. Then we can repeat the process for the Captains. So since I kind of demonstrated a percent bar, let's talk about reviewing a ratio table for the Captains. And maybe we can tie that in. We know that the Captains made 138 or 130 out of 180. So sometimes a part-to-whole comparison can help us. Because we could, in this case, it'd be really nice to get rid of those zeros. So we could divide down. So 13 out of 18, that's, if we're estimating That's really close to 12 out of 18, which is about 2/3. So in this case, the ratio table tool can help us also. So you don't forget your old tools. Now if I want to put that to a percent bar, I'm going to read about the captains, and if their total attempts, the whole was 180, I can see that it's very close to 2/3. So when this is divided into thirds, I can count by 60s. And then the 130 is going to be somewhere over here. So if you think about it, between 120 and 180, there's 60 free throws. So I could even get a little more accurate. 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be right about 130 right here. So the benchmark fraction for the captains is a bit more than, we have to remember that percent. So for the captains up here, the fraction is about 2/3. Remember our benchmark fractions, the decimal's 0.3 repeating, this one's 0.6 repeating, so the percent is about 66, and it repeats. So we would say about 67% for that, a little more than 66. You can say a bit more than 66 or 67%. Now, we're going to just do the last question. If the Pirates continue to shoot at this rate, how many free throws do you expect them to make in the next 100 throws? So they make about 75, oops, that should be a percent, free throws. So if, for number 3, if they make 75%, that's the same as 75 out of 100. So what I expect them to make 75 out of the next 100. All right. And then I guess the last thing I'd like you to look at, when you look at the original problem, we look at who had the better average. The Pirates made about 75%, and the captains only made about 67% of their free throws. So we can compare them now, because we have them both in percents.